Right, hey, welcome back. I've been out on the road for the last 400 or 500 kilometres. I've just noticed the chain's come a little bit loose on the bike, so I'm going to show you how I adjust the chain on a Bmw F800. This will apply to most bikes in general. They're all pretty similar, so stick around and we'll show you how it's done. Okay, we can see the chain's just a little bit, getting a little bit loose there. It's more than the 40mm recommendation for the BMW, so we'll just tighten it up just a tiny little bit, give it a clean, and we'll be good to go again. The first thing we need to do is get the bike up onto the centre stand. If you don't have a centre stand, you can just use a jack or something if you're at home, just to prop it up a bit. Righto, let's get out our tool bags. Going to need a tool roll, usually a rag. You'll need a tin of lube, and I've got a bit of terps in here as well. Let's just do it. We have a tool roll here. Alright, now to adjust the wheel on this bike, we're going to need a 13mm for the locking nuts, the adjustment nuts, and we'll also need, I'm not really sure what size that is, it might be 22mm I think on the BMW. I'll put it up description there, but I know this tyre lever I've got is the right size, and it's actually not even written on there what size it is. I think it's 22mm for the wheel nut on the bike here, but that's the right size for the BMW. Just get things neat and tidy. I carry an old towel around, so I'm just going to throw this down here just to adjust that, and the tape measure just to measure our slack between the swing arm and the bottom of the chain and the top of the chain. Let's do it. Now, first thing we'll do, we'll just get on here, we'll just crack this loose. We don't need to take this all the way off, just need to loosen it up a bit just so we can move the wheel backwards and forwards. I think that'll be enough. You'll see it's a bit loose now. Another thing we'll do is loosen these locking nuts, because we'll need to wind them in to tighten this up. So what we'll do, I'll loosen the other side, but as we screw this up, this will push the wheel back, it'll tighten our chain up. So we'll do the same for the other side. Now there are some markers in here, you can see them up in there, so we just need to take note where they are and make sure they're just even on the same side, just so we keep our wheel alignment correct. What I like to do is just screw these out the same amount of turns, so I just count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll do the same on the other side as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That may be too much, which I can tell it already is, so we'll just go back in 2 turns. 1, 2, and we'll do the same on the other side. Screw it back in 2 turns as well. 1, 2. Have a look at that. That's all looking pretty good. Need to push our wheel forward. I just use my knee there and just bang that forward, just make sure it's still tight. I can tell that's pretty good, so I'm going to just nip these back up. It's as easy as this. Again, just check those guidance lines and just make sure it's the same on the other side. So easy one, the BMW, is just look at the gap there. If the gap looks the same on the other side, you're pretty right. Or just check your lines, your measurement lines on the inside of that channel. So we'll tighten up the other side. Same thing, just pushing the tyre forward. You don't have to do these up super tight. But if you look at the gap here, and come around the other side, and if you look at the gap there, they're exactly the same. Alright, now just grab your tape measure and have a measure here. So what do we got? So the top of that chain is at 50. We'll yank it up. The top of the chain is now at 15. So my maths isn't the best. That's 35mm slack between the top and the bottom of the chain, which seems pretty good to me. I think that's within the manufacturer specs of BMW, which is between 35 and 45mm. And it should be, there it is, it's written up there, yeah, 35, 45mm. And again, just do that wheel nut back up, just make sure it's nice and tight. There we go, that was just a nice quick chain adjustment. We will just give it a really quick clean while we're here. Now it's just a little bit of terps on a paintbrush. You can just go around, just give the chain a bit of a quick clean up for the road. That rag there to try and catch a bit of crap. You can use diesel. Try not to use any harsh solvents, don't use petrol or anything. It'll probably bugger up your O-rings inside your chain. So generally just kerosene. Kerosene's probably the best. Diesel will work. Jet A1 if you've got some. Give that a clean all over on the inside as well. Righto, when you finish there, just grab your rag, come down here and just give it a wipe, get some of that crap off. And just have a look at your chain while you're doing this as well. Just look for any, you know, odd things, stiff links, spent links, excessive rust. Check your joining link, make sure it's all good. Teep on your sprocket, just make sure they're all good. Just watch your fingers in that chain as well, don't get them caught. Don't ever start your motorbike up and idle it while you're doing it. Have a look on YouTube, you'll probably find some horrific injuries where people have got fingers and hands just caught around the chains there while the bikes are running. Righto, lucky last, we'll just give this a quick spray with some lube. Don't need too much there. And on the inside as well, try not to get it on your brakes or anything. There we go, as easy as that, done. Once I've given it a quick lube, again, I just give this a quick wipe, one more time, just on the sides, just helps keep the bloody dirt and crap off it. That's it, done. The chain's adjusted nicely now, and we're good to go again. Righto, that's the chain done. I will just show you one quick trick I use just for checking my chain slackness without using a tape measure while I'm out and about and after I've adjusted it. So I'll show you. For a quick way to check your chain adjustment or how tight it is, I come in behind the chain, I just lift it here with this hand. Doesn't need to be in gear, I think that's in neutral, but doesn't matter. I just lift this up as far as it'll go, pull it nice and tight. The bottom of the chain will come tight because you pulled this one. I get 3 of my fingers and I just slip them in here. Now if my 3 fingers fit in there just snugly like they do, that little middle finger's a bit tight, that's actually about 35mm play. So that's the minimum amount of play for my chain. If I can get 4 fingers in, then I know it's time to adjust it. So as I just checked earlier, I could slip 4 fingers in there, so I didn't. So I knew it needed a little bit of adjustment. I thought, why not just take this opportunity and show you guys how it's done. But that's the easy way for me. Now your bike, your chain may be different, your fingers will be different sizes, but you could work out a similar system, like, oh, so I need to, you know, go find a tape measure and measure my chain. Is it too tight? Is it too loose? For me, pull it tight, 3 fingers. That's perfect. Doesn't need to be any tighter, and it'll be probably a while to go before I need to adjust it again. And now that is how you adjust your motorbike chain on a BMW F800, and generally for most other bikes. Pretty simple. without recording it, I reckon it would only take me about 5 minutes, less than that, to adjust my chain. It's not too hard at all. So just the key things to remember: make sure you do up your wheel nut. You don't want your back wheel flying off where you're going down the road, and just make sure those lock nuts are tight for your adjustment bars, your adjustment bolts. That's it. Now if you did like this video, please give it the thumbs up and leave a comment down the bottom. All good. See you in the next one.